Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the December 12th zoning board hearing. We have a meeting, and I need a motion for the approval of the minutes of November 14th, but I'm striking out the, the last paragraph on page 2.
Pretty crowded.
Last paragraph on page 2, I'm striking because it doesn't apply to the minutes of that hearing.
Okay.
Okay?
Motion.
Motion by John, is there a second?
Second it.
Seconded by Chris, all those in favor? Opposed? That is unanimous. Okay, and before we open up the hearing, just a couple of questions for board members. It was brought up at the last couple of hearings that board members felt that they would like to push up the zoning board hearings from 7 p.m. start to a 6:30 start. Anybody have any comments on that? You want to leave it at 7?
Kind of early, it's kind of 6:30.
Well, that's why it was brought up, and it was actually brought up under the 40B hearings specifically because of the multitude of time those take. But we can currently leave it at 7 for now, and we can certainly open up that discussion in the middle of summer when no one wants to be here.
I would be okay with the 40B ones going to 6:30.
Yeah, we've already made that decision, so we're going to do the 40B ones for 6:30, and based on some of the feedback, let's keep the regular sessions at 7 o'clock for now, and we can address those maybe at a later time. Okay? We pass this down to Melissa. Okay, with that, it's on the application of George Solomon, 181 Congress Street for a special permit and release, variance for release is necessary from an under applicable provisions of the zoning bylaw in relation to a parcel of land located on the northeasterly side of Congress Street, known and numbered as 181 Congress Street and shown in Assessor Sheet 26, Lot 26. Zoning relief is sought in order to permit the construction of a 24-foot by 30-foot detached garage on the subject property. With that, I'll just, it's been a while, so I'd like to probably get that started from the start so that we have all the updated information as well. I did, the planning board did review this at their scheduled hearing on August 6th, and they made a favorable recommendation. Again, I'll read the planning board letter. Excuse me. The applicant requested a special permit to allow the construction of a detached garage on the subject property. The property consists of one single-family dwelling on a 22,180 square foot piece of landlocked property. Specifically, the proposal is to construct a 24 by 30 detached two-car garage on the property. The structure will meet side and rear setback requirements. A special permit is required due to the non-conforming nature of the property, as it did not have any frontage. Access to the property is provided by a 20-foot right-of-way over map 26, lot 27A to Congress Street, and the 81P plan is attached. So with that, Mr. Bertinazi, let's go down the process of what the applicant's going to be doing here.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. My name is David Bertinazi.
Big plans there? Yeah.
I am here on behalf of the applicant, George Solomon. Mr. Solomon resides at and is the owner of 181 Congress Street. Property is situated in the single-family residential or RV zone district. The property is approximately 22,000 plus square foot parcel that is situated off of Congress Street. I say off of because it does not front on Congress Street directly. Access to the parcel is made via an easement to and from Congress Street.
So we, in one of the hearings, we had the town engineer look at it specifically for the stormwater bylaw, to make sure that we could conform to the stormwater bylaw.
Correct. So-
Since, according to some of the area, there's areas, some of these areas, the drainage may be an issue, so therefore, the applicant provided and obtained an engineer, and looks like in coordination with the town engineer, they worked through that stormwater issue. Is that correct?
That's correct. So under the new revised plan, we attempted to try to answer and address some of the concerns that were raised during the initial hearing. The proposed garage, 24 by 30 feet on the southerly side of the parcel, was moved forward in the direction of Congress Street. And under the new plan as revised, which you have in front of you there is no change in impervious surface on the parcel. Under the new plan,
They're addressing there's the installation of an infiltration system around the exterior of the garage, which is intended to intercept runoff from the roof, and which, in concert with general regrading of the parcel in that area as part of the construction, according to the engineer, will improve drainage on site. Okay, and I have a letter here from the town engineer. They've reviewed the 12-5 revised plan for the proposed detached garage at 181 Congress Street for compliance with the town's stormwater management bylaw. The proposed garage location has been revised so not to increase the amount of impervious on the site. In addition, 2 infiltration trenches are proposed to infiltrate roof runoff from the proposed detached garage, which result in the reduction of stormwater discharge to the 179 Congress Street property. Design plan now meets the requirements of the stormwater bylaw. Therefore, they recommend an issuance of the special permit with a condition requiring an as-built plan of the drainage featuring prior to issuance of the occupancy permit. If there's any other questions, we can certainly reach out to the town engineer. So with that, anybody have any questions? Comments? Board members?
No, I think they've answered everything that we asked in the past and addressed it, so.
So this is proposed as a single-story detached garage. Is there a roof pitch on this, on the garage, do we know?
I have not seen that on
We
anything.
haven't designed it yet.
I mean, you're not doing anything on the second story of the garage, so I would assume probably a 6 pitch or something like that
I would
would probably be a low 6 pitch. Okay. Anybody else, Chris?
No.
Mark?
No, it's the only question we had was the engineering report from the last meeting.
All right, with that, my suggestion would be that it'll certainly help the drainage situation on the property that seems to be an issue. A couple of comments that I probably would make is the requirement to provide an as-built plan prior to the occupancy permit, which is, will identify and make sure that what's being structured and built on the site conforms to what the bylaw is requiring and what the town engineer would like to see. And then probably you want to control the pitch of that roof. And my suggestion would be, what pitch? 6 pitch?
8 probably is,
Too high?
no, that, we still can't do anything up there.
8's more realistic.
Yeah.
So not to exceed an 8 pitch, something like that? All right. So is that the proposal? Is that the motion?
Motion, yep.
So there's a motion to provide the garage not to exceed an 8 pitch on the roof
In the as-built.
and the as-built plan prior to occupancy. With that motion, is there a second? Second by Mark. Those in favor? Opposed?
We have audience.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mike Visconti, I live at number 7 Muriel Lane. In the interest of time, I won't go through all of the reasons why this should not be approved. Last time, I'm hoping that I see these same members here, I'm hoping they have retained that information. With respect to the stormwater regulations, notwithstanding that it may meet those requirements, if you observe the topographical elevations on that plan, the water is still traveling from the high point up near the house down to the property, bypassing the garage, going off the back of the property. So that those drainage trenches, while they may take some of the water from the roof, they are not going to drain the property, which is the main problem. So I would respectfully suggest to you that you deny this application on those grounds, because, as I said before, it is causing substantial damage to the downgrade properties on Muriel Lane.
So how is this structure adding to that? If he wasn't here proposing this, it would still be the same issue. So my standpoint is, he is not...
He's helping it, he's proving it.
Right.
Because it's a pre-existing non-conforming lot that is in violation, and to approve something on a lot that is in violation, both in terms of drainage and in terms of...
Well, there is no-
Mike, it's not in violation of drainage.
No.
It's like saying that your house and your property is not elevated properly to properly not drain on someone else's property.
But it is.
My brother lives on Muriel Lane, and he's got water running into his garage because the street was improperly done upon the elevations.
That's an issue for the, I guess, the town highway surveyor.
Yeah,
Rainwater that falls on my property goes into the ground. Now, after it goes into the ground, downstream, who knows, but the water that lands on any surface water stays on my property, goes nowhere else.
well, you're one of the very few, because I know mine does.
Which is what the town bylaws require. That is not the case on this property.
So we're not, if anything, if you look at the plans, this is going to improve drainage on this site.
Yeah.
So, if you did nothing, the impact on the neighborhood
gonna be-
and the public in general is going to be worse. This is going to improve drainage on this site, which should benefit neighbors and the public in general. It'll also give Mr. Solomon an opportunity to store boats and other things out of sight, which will enhance the appearance, benefit neighbors. I mean, this is going to be more beneficial to neighbors than denying it and not doing anything.
Well, he's not, well, he could put another house back there under the new bylaw as well, and then have even more impervious material.
Correct. But he has no intention of doing that. Once he does this, he's done.
Michael, how long have you been there?
I'm sorry?
How long have you been there?
Since 1975, a number of years,
Okay.
going on 50.
How long has that property been there?
That property,
The one we're referring to here, 181.
that property is part of the old Camino farm.
How long's this house been there?
I can't answer. I'm thinking early 80s, maybe mid-80s.
40 years?
Could be 40.
This property was in this configuration when
Mike, I'm just trying to get a point across. He's going to do something that may help the current runoff. It may help. It's going to be, it's bad now. It might get a little better with the engineering plan here.
And
Right.
I'm suggesting to you that it will not.
Well, okay, so
But hold on.
let's say it stays the same.
To Mark's point, we've had the town engineer look at it. She approved it. Are you an engineer?
The calculation, by the way, the lot coverage-
We've asked him to do all these things on both of your behalfs.
Okay.
Because you've been here every single meeting.
And what I'm telling you.
to talk about this.
The way the lot is graded.
He's done everything we've
He
asked
doesn't have
him
to
to
regrade
do.
his lawn.
He's done everything we've asked him to do, okay? You've had the town engineer go up there, said the planning board's looked at it, everybody has given him a favorable recommendation. All he's doing is improving, he's putting in this drainage system there that was never there to begin with. You can't tell me, even if that takes 1 gallon away from your yard, it's improved.
not when you
Good
get
point.
1 million gallons off the site.
That's not on Mr. Solomon. He bought the house that was there.
And if you deny it, then he's going to get 1,001 gallons.
And I know some of you are involved in real estate to some degree, and you know, when you buy a property.
Just for the record, Chris and I are not involved in real estate.
I didn't say you, I said some of you.
So we're asking a question.
When you buy a property, you now own that property and the good and the bad that goes with that.
Okay, so I guess the same could be said when you bought your property. You bought your property and the good and the bad that goes with it, which is downhill. I mean, seriously, Michael, you got to come up with a better argument than that.
But I have no violations on my property. That property, including.
There's no requirements.
Please don't
No.
forget.
If you buy a piece of
There's no
property at the
requirement
bottom of
about
West
Any
Pleasant Street,
requirements
you're
in
going
the
to get
intensity
water.
of use regulations.
Right.
Please don't forget, Kim, by the way, the calculations are incorrect, okay? The
The
calculations.
town engineer's incorrect, too?
That is correct. On the lot coverage, they are incorrect. Okay. The formula is based on gross floor area, okay? Not impervious area, okay? If you read the bylaw, it's in black and white. The calculations are wrong, which changes everything.
Why didn't somebody go after the previous owner?
I did. Didn't work.
So now you want this gentleman
When you say
to
go
fix what the
after,
other guy didn't.
when you say go after,
Okay, ask him to correct
the
it.
extent of my going after was, number one, ask it to be corrected, both to the previous owner and to our building department and our engineering department at the time, okay? And
Okay.
as you may or may not expect, what did I get from them? The goose egg.
Well, that can't be addressed here.
I understand, no, I'm answering your question. You said, why didn't I do something before?
Well,
I
it
did.
just seems you're putting a lot of pressure on this gentleman to fix something that should have been corrected 40 years ago.
He owns the property.
But he bought it the way it is.
That's exactly, the way it is, now it's his problem.
Oh, no. It was a problem 40 years ago.
Say
Mike.
no, but look, the law is the law. It's his problem.
Well, you'll have a tough time winning that one.
It's not the law that any person who has a hill on their property needs to regrade their property so that there's no water coming off.
That's ridiculous.
There's no requirements. in
The engineering of Congress is incorrect, we know that.
It is unlawful.
There are hills. They exist in the world.
Wait, guys, excuse me, sirs. It is unlabeled, unlawful for any water on your property to drain onto another person's property.
You live at the bottom of Mount Pleasant Street, you're going to get water.
It's against the law. It's against the law. It's illegal. It's against our town bylaws.
All right, Mike, this is a pre-existing condition.
Doesn't matter, it's not.
Mike, all right, let's calm down. We are addressing the issue of the variance. You've stated your objection. As far as I am concerned, this is improving it. He's not putting another house back there with bedrooms and more cars and more impervious material. He spent the time and money to try and help. And as far as I'm concerned, I see that effort, I appreciate that effort, and it's going to at least help the current situation better than it is now. So it's an improvement.
May I ask one question? Sure. Mr. Chairman, at I think it was the first meeting, the applicant stated that the sole reason for this garage is to store a boat.
Doesn't make any difference if it
He
can
can
be a
store whatever he
house.
wants to do.
Well, just bear with me, let me finish the question. And at that time, you asked him how big the boat was that he was buying, and he answered you, but I did not hear the answer. Do you recall how big the boat was that he's buying?
First of all, I said I have equipment, so I didn't say only I have a boat. So I'm storing more than one thing in there.
Well, so now it changes.
Does that matter how big the boat is?
It's a garage. You can do whatever you can do with a garage.
It matters how big the boat is, because let's say it's a 14-foot motorboat or whatever, okay? Why do we need a 24 by 30-foot garage?
Well, the reason why he wants that size limit table, he requested it, it's
No,
been
it's not, because
granted.
it is not immaterial, okay?
Do you have any questions that pertain to what we're actually doing here?
I do. What I'm saying to you is calculations are wrong.
I'm not an engineer, so I have to go by what the town engineer has approved, and I feel that she is educated and has come up with the solution for the runoff of the roof.
We're required to
I would
provide
like
you
to
with
think
stamped
you'd
plans.
like to
We
get
provided you with
That's what I would
stamped
like to think.
plans.
Correct.
That's
This is
what
it's an engineered stamp
The
plan.
regulations require that we provide you with a stamp plan. Those computations were made by a certified engineer. You have a stamp plan in front of you that gives you all of the computations, and there's actually a chart on that plan that shows you that the impervious surface is not changing as a result of this project.
Absolutely right, because the calculations are wrong on the impervious.
Mike, we're not going to stand here and argue.
We're not an
the
engineer.
calculate-
Okay.
Okay?
We've gone by
I'm
that.
expecting you guys to do the right thing. Also,
Okay, thank you.
there are numerous violations, zoning violations on that property that a special permit for something else should never be granted until those violations are corrected. I can go through them all again if you would like.
I think what you need to do, if you feel there's zoning violations, then bring it to the building department, put it in writing,
I did that.
and let them do their procedure.
Maybe I'm not getting across to you. I did all that, and they are of no help whatsoever. As you may or may not know, zoning enforcement in this town is all but zero.
This is the zoning board of appeals.
Yep, thank you.
This is a non-conforming parcel.
Right.
That is why we are here.
Correct.
What he is proposing meets or exceeds the intensity of use regulations in the bylaws. The reason that we are here, he could do this as of right. If this property had frontage on Congress Street, he could do this as of right. He could go to the building department and pull a permit. The reason we are here is because this is a non-conforming situation. And in any non-conforming situation, by definition, there are conditions that exist that don't meet the current requirements in the bylaw. That is what a non-conforming situation is.
Correct.
So yes, we will acknowledge that this is a non-conforming structure and a situation, and that is why we are here. We're seeking a special permit, which is permitted under the bylaw, the section 3.1.3, to alter a non-conforming situation, and that is what we are asking this board to do. We're not looking for a variance, we're looking for a special
I
permit.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
All right, so there's a motion on the table, as-built plan to be completed prior to occupancy,
No more than
and the roof pitch no more than an 8 pitch. Any others? Okay, with that, there's a motion, is there a second? Second? All those in favor? 1, 2, 3, 4, that's unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you.
As you know, there's a 20-day appeal period, and they have the right to appeal the decision if they so choose, but
And thank you for doing everything that we've asked.
it's good to go, and we appreciate the follow-up with the town engineer, especially with both engineers working on the calculations and providing the document for the file as well.
And we thank the engineer for working in consultation with our engineer.
Yeah, so just to be clear, an as-built plan after the construction, before occupancy is going to be provided, so that's going to be part of the final permit. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it.
That's the only hearing we have tonight? Okay, so with that, our next meeting is when? The 9th? Okay. Yeah, January 9th. So with that,
May I ask one question?
the hearing's closed.
That's all right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I
Yeah,
don't need to be on.
yeah, that's
You
fine.
guys are official here.
Yeah,
Of course.
This garage is abutting to a in-ground swimming pool. The entrance to the garage leaves, if it's left open, leaves an open access to the swimming pool.
Swimming pool's going to be enclosed.
This is all going to be reconstructed.
Yeah, the entire swimming pool area is going to be enclosed.
Great, thank you.
And that's what he needs to
And for
do.
your information, I'm draining the pool entirely during the construction, so it would be no water in there. It's like probably less than half in there. I'll drain the rest of it anyway. The
Draining
pool,
it too.
I'll drain to the storage.
Yeah. All right, great. Okay. So with that, do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Motion by John, seconded by Mark. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? That's unanimous.
Thank you very
Thank you, everyone.
Appreciate it. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Enjoy your holidays, and we thank you for joining us. Good night.